Si. Welcome to A Podcast Nation. We're back again with football content, and this evening we're going to talk Cardiff City versus Norwich City. Have a good deep dive into that and a bit of a preview. If you're not a member already, please join patreon.com/Ace Podcast Nation. Allows you to get exclusive content and including 24 hours early access on tickets to live events. We've been doing these City Legend events. We did a most recent one last Friday, which was an absolute blinding night. It's a really intimate affair. You get to spend an evening with the Cardiff City legend, ask him questions, etc. A few beers. Phenomenal night. Very special, especially if you're a Cardiff City fan. But to be honest, even if you're a football fan, and it's going to be a cracker. The next one's the 1st of December. I can tell you that much. The people who were there on Friday will already know who the next guest is, but that'll be announced shortly. All I can say is the Patreon at what works out about 10 pence a day is worth it simply for the 24 hours early access to be guaranteed a ticket because they are limited. But anyway, subscribe to the channel. All that stuff is free. Please do support the channel as we endeavour to produce lots of football related content, podcasts on other stuff as well, and a lot of Cardiff City stuff in a way because, I'm a Cardiff City fan, so that's what I talk about. But this Saturday, we have a very, very interesting game. Cardiff City play host to Norwich City in Cardiff. It's on the 11th of November, which is a very special day. My birthday, 42, getting old. But it's going to be an interesting encounter. Cardiff sitting 7th currently, and probably coming off the back of the Stoke result last week, or a draw away to Stoke. Not a terrible result, but Cardiff were very, very good. It was pretty much the perfect away performance without perhaps finding the back of the net to sneak it. But it was another great performance by Cardiff. They've been really impressive this year. And Norwich, on the other hand, they sit 17th. They're going to be looking to try and turn it around. The manager's under pressure. This is going to be a big tough test. I think it'll be a low-scoring affair, but I do think from Cardiff's point of view, if you can get an early goal, they're going to feel the pressure. They're going to be under a tremendous amount of pressure. The players, the fans, the manager, they're all going to get a bit tense. So it could potentially an early goal could settle Cardiff and cause problems for Norwich. But I expect it'll be quite a low-scoring game. Interestingly, the betting market is kind of very much in Cardiff's favour. It's like 45% in a Cardiff win. 28% of an away win, and then a chance of a draw is 26%, which is kind of interesting because Cardiff and Norwich rarely draw. That's kind of really, really interesting to me that it's such a high percentage, but I guess there's only 3 results you can have. But moving on, let's have a look at Norwich City's form. Norwich City have lost 4 on the bounce, and they are struggling. It is there's no way around it. There's no way to kind of shine it up real nice. They've lost the last 4. They've lost 4 and they drew the other one in the last 5. It is problematic. They are struggling. And you're looking at it and you're wondering where the turnaround is going to come. There's people already calling for the manager's head in the local media, in the fans, things like this. And I'm not going to pretend to be, got my finger to the pulse of what's going on at Norwich, but just looking at it from a purely sort of statistical point of view, they've lost 5 of the last 6. They've only kept 3 clean sheets all season. They've conceded 30 goals, scored 26. They have got it can be deceptive though, because they have got some decent players. John Rowe in particular is a very, very good player. Normally plays off the right. You've got Gabriel Sarah, Adam Adai, Joshua Sargent as well. I'm a big fan of, but and then you've got the experience of people like Ashley Barnes and I like. But to me, Norwich. Look, Cardiff, you got to look at it this way. Norwich are there for the taking. They're out of form, low on confidence. The manager's under pressure. You've got to get them early and try and create a problem. From Norwich's point of view, you want to keep it tight, try and keep possession of the football, keep Cardiff at arm's length and really push on and try and effectively do what Cardiff do in the away games, is keep it tight for 60, 70 minutes, then push on and try and pinch a goal towards the end of the game. In terms of the Norwich lineup, I expect it to be something like this, but when teams are under pressure and when teams are struggling for form, you never know what the manager might come up with. You never know if the manager might switch things around. I think they'll line up in the kind of usual 4-2-3-1. I think they'll go with Long in goal, Stacey at right back, Warner and Duffy as centre backs, Giannoulis on the left, and then you've got Gomez Sarah, who's a very good footballer, alongside McLean as the 2. Then you'll have Nunes in that number 10, trying to create and dictate things and get the wide players in the row off the right, who's the top scorer, and Hernandez off the left behind Hwang Hee-jo. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And they'll obviously try and get Rowe and Hernandez down in the wide areas, try and get Jamalu Collins and Perry and G, and they'll try and get Nunes close to Ijo to create. But there's certainly areas which I feel Cardiff can target. In particular, in the last game that Norwich played against Blackburn, Blackburn played with a 4-4-2 formation. In particular, Smodicic, I think it's pronounced, who sort of plays off Dolan up front for Blackburn, he had tremendous success dropping deep, dropping in the channels and finding that bit of space, got himself a brace, and it could have been a hat-trick. He was very, very impressive. And I think that is like those types of areas is where Cardiff can really look to push on, but also those types of areas are where Cardiff are strongest. Man to watch for Norwich City. Yeah, so it's tricky when teams are out of form and you're looking at it and you think, God, where's the danger coming from? Where can they cause us problems? To me, the most obvious one, and it feels like almost like a bit lazy to say it, but to me, the most obvious one is Rowe playing off the right. He is their top scorer. John Rowe's very clever on the ball, off the ball. He makes good movements. He's a decent finisher. He scored 9 in all competitions this season. So Cardiff will need to keep him quiet. And Nunes in the number 10 position. If they can keep them generally quiet, then I feel that Cardiff will probably come out on top. Moving on to what we're all here for, Cardiff City. Look, Cardiff are banging form. They are second in terms of the most clean sheets this year, only conceding 16 goals all season. They've kept 6 clean sheets. They've scored 23 goals, which is not like massively high scoring. It's not terrible either, but those clean sheets, they've kept 3, I think it is, on the bounce now. So they've really kicked on actually in the last couple of games. A couple of the sort of bench players, if you like, have really caught the eye. And I'll be very interested to see if there's any changes to the lineup, because the lineup's been very settled. We'll talk about the lineup in just a second, but in particular for Cardiff, I think where we can do damage to Norwich is playing like we play. We're very comfortable on the ball, try and draw them out to press, and then play around it, play over it, play through it. They're very clever, and those switch balls from the likes of NG or from Siopis look into the other side. Josh Bowler in particular stays very, very high and wide. And when me and my son were sat last Saturday against Bristol, a few times we had the ball deep and on the sort of inside left in our own half, and the switch ball was on to Bowler, and I felt like we missed an opportunity a couple of times, because you could really see, like, if we had been able to pull that off, then Bowler was pretty much in, or certainly in a great position to make something happen. Bowler in particular against Stoke really got some joy from cutting inside, but he's also capable of going on the outside. I thought everyone played pretty well. Jamalu Collins had a really hard game against Stoke, particularly in the first half. He had a lot to do, but Grant worked hard, helped him out. Grant has really turned into a vital player for the way Cardiff play. The work he does supporting Jamal Collins, getting back and stuff, is really been quite impressive. And with Grant, I feel like if he gets his goal, you can really kick on and we'll see a very different side to him, because I think we've seen flashes and I think his work rate is outstanding, but I think he just needs that goal to really kick on. Another one who's done quite well in recent games, Robinson, has started the last couple of games in the number 10 position. I think he's done all right. I thought he was excellent against Huddersfield. I thought he was pretty good against Bristol, although obviously Ruben Corwell came off the bench. Took a while to get going against Bristol, Ruben did, but then obviously scores that fantastic goal at the death to seal the game. And when Ruben Corwell came on against Stoke, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. I thought his first touch under pressure was absolutely exquisite. He was really creative. He was unlucky a few times with the kind of the ball or the shot which he played didn't quite get through, or they got intercepted. But the positions that he was taking up, the work rate to win the ball back, the aggression, but also the creativity, and to me, what really stood out was the confidence. The first touch that he had looked real good. And I've been calling out since Ramsey's been injured, saying, give the lad a chance to start a couple of games at home, see what he can do when he starts, see what he can do. And I think the last couple of games, we've really seen what Ruben Corwell has got in his locker in flashes. And I think that's almost like a story of his career. Like, we've seen it in flashes, but can he do it week in, week out? Can he do it from the start? Can he dictate and create for this team in the Championship at this level, week in, week out? He's got the potential. Can he do it? And I think this is a really good opportunity to maybe give him a start, because Robinson's been good. I thought he wasn't as good against Stoke, but he didn't do anything, wrong in terms of that. It's a home game against a team which are struggling for form, and early goals could be really important for us on the weekend, because I feel like if Cardiff City get an early goal or two, Norwich could crumble. There's a lot of pressure going around Norwich at the moment. There's a lot of pressure at Carroll Road on the manager from the board and things like that. So Cardiff have got to be clever. Use that. Get the crowd up early. Control the ball. Movement off the ball. And Siopis obviously will do his best to keep Nunes and Rowe quiet. And then hopefully he can get some of those beautiful switch balls going. Let's have a look at the Cardiff City line. How I would line up. Not necessarily what I think the manager would do. If I'm being honest, I think the manager goes with the same 11 again. But let's go with what I think we should do on Saturday. I think, look, the back five picks itself. You've got Alnwick in goal, Jamal Collins left back, the legend that is Perry NG at right back, and then obviously you've got McGuinness and Gutas in the centre of defence. Then you have Siopis holding alongside, I think it'll probably be Joe Rawls. I think I'd probably go with Joe Rawls at home as well. I think he's been really good since Siopis has come in. It's really helped him. Off the right, I would go with Bowler. I think Bowler's been really good since he's come back. The temptation is to put Tanner there because he's had an impact every time he's come on. It's a home game. But Bowler does the same thing, and I think Tanner is really good off the bench if you need a goal or you need a bit of speed, creativity, etc. So I would go with Bowler off the right. I would go with Grant off the left, and I would go with Ruben Corwell to start in this game. This game specifically is a home game. He's in form. He's high on confidence. So build on that and utilize the fact that he looks so confident against Stoke. Utilize that by giving him the start, raise that confidence even more, and really kick on. And I would go with. I think the manager will go with the same lineup as I said, and I think he will go with Mate up front. I would probably it's a toss of a coin for me, in all honesty. I would probably go with Atete, because just before his injury, Atete has scored 3 and 3, and they were 3 quality goals, 3 very different goals. And I feel like he is very confident. He looked confident when he came on, and he made a difference. He causes problems when the ball comes in the box. Teams do not know what to do with him, and I think that I would give him a go at the start as well. So in kind of rounding up, I'd go with Corwell start, and I'd go with Tete start, and then I'd look to bring Mate, Tanner, and Wintle on, depending on how the game's going. One to watch for Cardiff City. I don't think it'll come as any shock to anyone, really, because I've been talking about him a lot in this video, and I've talked about him a lot on the Cardiff City fan show every Monday at the Roman Tavern. Please join us. Ruben Corwell is my one to watch. He's not your stereotypical number 10. He's a big boy, whereas a lot of number 10s are kind of those small players with low center of gravity, really technical, creative, etc. Ruben Corwell is really good technically, really good creatively, but he's a big boy. He's strong and he works hard. He took up such intelligent positions against Stoke when he came on. He had a good half an hour. His first touch was immaculate, as I said, and I feel like with the crowd behind him, get the ball into him, let him dictate a bit, let him create, and him and Tete with Tete and Colwell just behind, and then you've got Bowler on the right, Grant on the left, put some crosses in. I think Colwell arriving late could be a threat as well. So I don't think Callum Robertson necessarily deserves to be dropped, but I do think Ruben Corwell deserves a start. And ultimately, if he gets a start, he would be my one to watch. But look, we all know the likes of Perry NG, Siopis, Bowler, it's a massively team-orientated squad at the moment, which I love. They all battle for each other. They all play for each other. And it's going really well for Cardiff. And this is a really good opportunity to push on again now. A good performance, get 3 points, get it in the bag. Let's go. In terms of predicted score, I'm going to go 3-0 to Cardiff City. I fancy us. Normally, I'd probably say 3-1, but we've been so strong at the back. So I'm going to go 3-0. Confident, early goal, put it to bed. Be the Ruben Corwell show on Saturday, I think, if he can get a start. But look, maybe Ramsey's back in the squad. Maybe be nice to see some players back. But O'Dowda as well to come back still as well. And we got the January transfer window. Coming in the next week or so, or the next few days, I've got 5 players that Cardiff City should look at in January video coming. Monday nights, we have the Cardiff City fan show. Thursday nights, we have the Rhodri Giggs show. And don't forget that the Cardiff City Legends Event 2 is coming 1st of December. Tickets will be on sale very, very soon. So give the Rum and Tavern a follow on social media. Give Ace Podcast Nation a follow on social media and you won't miss out. But the way to make sure you do get tickets and you 100% get them is to sign up to patreon.com/Ace Podcast Nation. Works out about 10p a day. You get exclusive content. There's hundreds of shows on there which you can go back and watch on all sorts of subjects because it's behind a paywall. We talk about things that perhaps we wouldn't talk about on the main channel, and it's a lot of fun. And we have a lot of interaction and live streams. And then, like I said, you get 24 hours early access to the tickets for the live events, which means that you should be guaranteed to get a ticket. As always, it's been my absolute pleasure, guys. Take care. Come on, the Bluebirds.